So the first thing first, you had Null from Kiwi Farms on the other day, and I caught a few moments of that live stream. It was, again, quite late for me, so...
Sweet deal. It was a good stream.
Yeah. So your position on Kiwi Farms is that it is a site that should be protected?
It's a site that is protected.
Okay. It is protected by free speech, etc.
By the First Amendment and Section 230 of the U.S. Code. But
okay.
Yeah.
So your argument is because of that, we shouldn't take down Kiwi Farms because they're not doing anything illegal. That's your position on Kiwi Farms, or do you support what Kiwi Farms is doing in a moral capacity as well? Do you believe that what they're doing is moral?
What they're doing is
what they do. What happens on the forum? I mean, let's be completely clear here. What their forum is centered around is harassing people, right? Like that's.
I disagree with that completely.
Do you believe that they harass people?
I believe that some users on the forum may, from time to time, harass people. Yes.
Do you believe that that Null or Josh or whatever you want to call him supports that harassment?
God damn it, dude! Nobody's good at having any okay. Kiwi Farms is not a forum that is dedicated to harassment. Generally, they talk about shit there, and it stays on the forum generally. But obviously, there are people that go outside the forum and harass people. That's an easy give me, right? That's like you just admit that, like. Is it a website dedicated to harassment? No. But is it a website where people obviously can from that website go and harass other people? Obviously. That's that's an easy give me. Come on. He said that. In a very, 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 very couched way. I think you can just, that's an easy give me immediately. They're posting doxes on the website, which some people might say in and of itself is a form of harassment, which I think is probably valid. You can say that in and of itself is harassment. You're repeating what Rakita said?
The
forum may from.
Do you believe that they harass people?
I believe that some users on the forum may from time to time harass people, yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit too couched. So, people in DGG may from time to time harass people. Kiwi Farms, when you're posting doxes on the actual board, I feel like you're a step further, but maybe Nick is trying to be really cautious.
Do you believe that that Null or Josh or whatever you want to call him supports that harassment or thinks that harassment is good or okay?
According to how the farms is run, that harassment is punished by banning. So no, I don't think he thinks that's okay.
Okay, so when he pins the threads of people who have recently been harassed and, highlights when his site was taken down and it was a highlight and a pin of a copy of Keffels' thread, you don't think that was sort of encouraging the behavior that's been occurring?
What behavior?
The harassment, the doxing, the swatting, that kind of stuff.
Who swatted Keffels?
Kiwi Farms user. I mean,
which one?
Even if
who?
Right. Do we know that? I would say it's probably a safe bet that they did, but you don't really know that, right?
How
do you know? How do you know it was Kiwi Farms? How do you know anybody on that site swatted Keffels?
Okay. I think that is
immaterial.
It's a pretty good fucking question, isn't it? You've leveled the accusation. You're like, Kiwi Farms swatted Keffels. You said that with perfect assertion. So let's see where it's from Kiwi Farms.
On the balance of probabilities based on Kiwi Farms' history.
Is balance of probabilities a good enough way to shut something like that down? I don't know about that one, Chief.
And the fact that people that they create threads on tend to get swatted, tend to get harassed, tend to get doxxed. The fact that in the Kiwi Farms now Telegram, they are publicly talking about doxing Keffels. They are publicly, they literally on the forums figured out what Keffels' hotel was based on the bed sheets. And that went on the Keffels thread on Kiwi Farms. And then she was harassed again at the hotel. So, on the balance of probabilities, I'm not saying, a court of law beyond reasonable doubt, all of that. I'm saying on the balance of probabilities, based on genuine, just looking at the situation and reasoning logically, we can reason that it's probably some form of Kiwi Farms being used to push this harassment and doxing and.
Okay, so some form of Kiwi Farms is being used too.
Like no, some form of behavior on Kiwi Farms. Like it is on Kiwi Farms that these people are congregating, gathering, and planning. Right?
Planning.
They don't deny it. They literally
what?
brag about it in their planning to dox somebody.
Planning to dox. Okay, let's talk about what doxing is. What's doxing?
Releasing people's information, private information.
What private information was released about Keffals?
Her address, the hotel.
Why is that? Wait, when did an address become private?
When did an address become private? If you don't want your address to be
Duncan, come on, dude. So okay, this is the next 20 minutes of this argument is probably gonna be this, okay? So this is something that I mentioned before that's really hard, is a lot of people have a visceral reaction to doxing, which you should. Doxing is a really shitty thing to do. As somebody who's been doxed multiple times, I can tell you that. By Kiwi Farms, doxing is a really shitty thing, for sure. But why is it so hard to make doxing, like, illegal? Well, is it technically against the law? Well, what are we actually doing here? Like, we're not really republishing, or we're not publishing private information. Sometimes that can happen. Is an address really private? It's hard to draw a line between what is breaking the law or not. I think that if Duncan wants to argue about what doxing is, Duncan needs to focus on it's usually, I would say that doxing is not posting somebody's private information. Doxing is not revealing something that was previously unrevealed. Doxing is compiling information in one area about a person, generally for the purposes of harassment. That's more or less what like doxing is. So like it might be the case that you've posted a picture of yourself at a beach, and it might be the case that you have mentioned something online about a certain type of hotel food. But if I bring that together and I go, they were at this beach and they mentioned this thing, and I know that's only served by this place in Cancun, here's that information. You're compiling information and you're putting it in one area, usually for the purposes of harassment. That's what doxing is. More specific than just publishing information. I don't think just publishing information is enough. It doesn't get you very far in these conversations, especially with a fucking lawyer who's probably going to smash you over the head with, well, what is being done that's illegal, right? And doxing isn't really illegal in any sense of the word, or I've never heard in my life of any legal precedent or law case where somebody's gotten in trouble for reposting public information.
Public information, it's private information. That's just...
Okay, so do you receive mail at the address?
From my perspective, as somebody who's in...
Yeah, I'm asking your opinion.
If you receive mail at an address, that does not mean that it is not private from, for example, the internet. It's not like saying, this is where I live to the internet, and releasing where someone lives on the internet by American law is illegal, right?
No, completely untrue. Completely untrue.
Wait, what did Duncan just say? Sorry.
Like saying, this is where I live to the internet, and releasing where someone lives on the internet by American law is illegal, right?
There are so many websites where I can go and look up right now. I can Google first name, last name, address, and I can find where people live. What are you talking about? Come on, dude. Oh, God, he's like totally unprepared for this conversation.
Right?
No, completely untrue. Completely untrue. Yeah.
You think people's addresses aren't private? No! You can... Well, I don't even know if I want to say it now. Bro, there are like county registrars where you can go and look up like who buys and sells houses, like who owns houses. That's all a matter of public record, my dude. Like housing transactions are a matter of public record in wherever you live in the United States. And somebody said, this is different in EU. That's why he's saying that probably. No, hold on. In some countries in Europe, it's even fucking worse. Some countries in Europe have entire governments that host the public information of every single person online. Some governments in Europe literally have it so you can look up how much people paid in fucking taxes last year. It's like a matter of public record. Yeah, geez. Did my mic just die? No, okay. But anyway, sorry. Jeez, sorry.
So doxing somebody in America is legal.
Yes.
100% free speech. Now, when you type in...
How do you not know that? When you type in
doxing someone in America...
Bro, if it was illegal, then Nick would be a fucking moron. What kind of a dumb fuck lawyer would go on to stream to defend an obviously illegal activity? Why would you think it's illegal? Come on.
There have been different definitions of doxing throughout the years. So, releasing actual private information that is obtained illegally can be...
So the fact that they released her social security number...
That's actually free speech.
Telegram. Too. No, because reading here... from the Rodriguez Law Group, AER Law Group in the United States.
I don't know about social security number.
To gather your personal information. Examples of sensitive information include, but is not limited to, social security number, street address, workplace details, financial information, and family members. That is all covered under doxing in the United States.
I mean,
there's no doxing law.
Sensitive information
Yeah.
When it's
releasing someone's social security number is
not illegal. No.
I don't know if it's the publishing of a social security number that's illegal, or if it would be the method of intrusion used to gain it. That might be the illegal part. Like, is it legal to publish a social security number? Maybe, but is it legal to hack it out of a database? Almost certainly not. But it's probably going to depend on how you get the information. Destiny, rentals are not a matter of public record, although that doesn't necessarily make it illegal to disclose. Who you're renting to probably isn't, but the building owner will be public record. But I guess if you're renting, technically, that could be a way to obfuscate.
I know it's really uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. Like, and I don't want social security numbers released, and I don't want addresses released. Not a big fan of it.
I find it interesting when people have been prosecuted for this, and it is.
Who's been prosecuted in the United States for doxing? Is there a case law on this? Anybody? I'd be curious to hear about that.
Prosecution for. This is a fun trap question with law.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a lowly geneticist, so this is not my specialty, right? But penal code.
This guy knows Shaughnessy actually a geneticist, right?
Kill me. 653.2.
What state?
Up to a year in jail. I believe that this particular blog's about California.
Okay, California Penal Code 6.352.
6.5.
Electronic cyber harassment law in California makes it a crime to send electronic communications such as emails or text messages with the intent of placing the recipient in reasonable fear for his or her safety or that of his or her immediate family. Misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail. By means of an electronic communications device without consent of the other person and for the purpose of imminently causing the other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but not limited to a digital image of another person or an electronic message of a harassing nature about another person, which would likely to incite or produce an unlawful action, is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by law. Has anybody been prosecuted in this for like publishing an address, or is this for like posting a picture of a person like at a house and saying like somebody go kill them? I wonder if anybody's actually been prosecuted for a harassing of a nature that a reasonable person would consider seriously alarming, seriously annoying, seriously tormenting, or seriously terrorizing of the person that serves no legitimate purpose. Keffels is Canadian. Why look at California? Well, that's true too. It's an international thing. But I'm curious if this is actually illegal in even just California. That'd be interesting if it was true. I know that California tried to pass pretty aggressive privacy laws. Like I think California was the first state to make like revenge porn illegal. I'm just not sure if people have actually been prosecuted yet under these charges.
American law works.
State law versus it's
no, not state versus federal. No, so we have this cool thing called the First Amendment.
Yeah.
And it is extremely broad and extremely powerful. It's one of the most protected things that has persisted in American law. It's shockingly, under the leadership of Chief Justice Roberts, free speech has actually been protected and probably expanded. And this is the part that makes people really uncomfortable, because it's really easy to go read a law from California that says it's illegal to do this thing. But when this thing that you're doing involves speech, what the courts tend to have to do afterwards, and I haven't read on this particular statute yet, but we can pull it up. But on the other statute in California that comes up with Kiwi Farms, which is encouraging suicide, for example, it says it is unlawful to encourage suicide. All right. So that's the statute. But when you actually read what the court has defined as the 5-element test for the unlawfulness, one of the critical elements is that the encourager has to do something more than mere words, has to participate in some way in the action, such as by providing the means for the suicide to occur. So if I say, kill yourself, you incel, like that's not a crime in California, even though it says it is. Like, you should kill yourself, you incel. That would be, by the word of the law, that's a criminal act. However, what I would have to do is something further, like say, you should kill yourself, you incel, here's a bullet and a gun, why don't you put it in your mouth and pull the trigger? That would be the next step that's required for the actual test. And I know that's not written in the statute, but that's how the courts have to apply it when they balance that statute against the First Amendment. Otherwise, the whole statute gets struck as unconstitutional, either overbroad or vague for void, or void for vague.
Yeah, but the thing is that it happens, right? So we can get into the legal minutia, and you can argue that, okay, so your argument is really everything that they do is legal.
No,
right?
no,
is it that critical, though?
There are illegal acts that have occurred on Kiwi Farms, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, but That's not my point.
There's
right?
illegal acts
because,
that have occurred on Twitter. And I think my personal position is that as a society, we should tolerate all legal speech to the maximum extent allowable by law. That we should just collectively decide to say, well,
is that
I don't
not
really...
the tolerance? Is that not the tolerance paradox, though, that we should tolerate the intolerant?
Do you really think Nick is going to buy into the tolerance paradox, or the paradox of intolerance? Is what you're talking about?
That's literally the tolerance paradox, though?
No, it's not a tolerance paradox because it's not
no,
based on whether...
it's defined as the tolerance paradox, saying that we should be tolerant of everybody, including the intolerant, because everybody should be allowed to have their say. No?
I mean, well, yes, we should be inclusive of the intolerant, of course, because everybody should have their say. But I'm saying based on the principles of free speech and the limits of the First Amendment, we shouldn't be limited to, well, we can only stop government from doing this. But I'm also not saying that the government needs to intervene and save kiwi farms. The government can only intervene and save kiwi farms from itself. But should we allow kiwi farms to exist just collectively as a society? Yeah, and if everybody would just fuck off from talking about kiwi farms all the time, the number of people who would know about it would plummet dramatically.
I mean, I believe that what is done on kiwi farms is pretty immoral. It's really shitty, right?
Sure, I think that some things done on... Yeah, I think that plenty of things done on kiwi farms is pretty shitty. People talk a lot of shit about me, my wife, and my family on kiwi farms. For example,
I'm sure
they say some of the worst shit. It's completely untrue, and oh well.
Have you ever been swatted?
Yes.
You have. You've been swatted. People have shown up at your door with a gun.
5 times in a row.
Wow, that sucks, and I feel bad for you. But why are you then defending the people that almost certainly put that together?
They did not swat me. Like, if you think Kiwi Farms swatted me, you're silly.
Okay, I don't know who swatted you. I'm just saying.
I don't know who swatted me either, and that's a critical point. You know who Keffals doesn't know swatted Keffals?
I think it's a safe assumption.
Right?
I think it's a safe assumption, right? Like, I get
safe
that.
assumptions don't work. Like, we don't get to base whether we punish someone on an assumption.
Safe assumptions work when you're calling for a service to drop a website.
Oh my God, but what if they didn't do it?
Who gives a shit? It's a shitty website. I don't
care.
Oh
my God, why would you concede the whole debate? What do you mean, who gives a shit? That's kind of central to your argument, bro.
Are the arbiter of what gets to be online based on your personal fucking opinion?
Well, are you not? Do you not
No.
think Keffals... Did you not state that you thought that Keffals should be offline and that she shouldn't be allowed to have the platform she has?
No.
No?
No, I did not state that.
What did you mean specifically then when you said that she should go up against the wall? What were you talking about there when you said that?
What was I talking about there? It's an idiomatic and hyperbolic description of an ideal place where these people would not be allowed.
Oh, see, look, this is where our Wittgensteinian language concepts can come in. I hope I'm slaughtering the fuck out of every time I quote him or cite him or whatever. But it was pretty obvious that when Nick was saying that, he wasn't making a genuine assertion that as a point of policy, or as something that I wish would genuinely happen is this person should actually go up against the wall. He was probably using a phrase to just express extreme disgust. Kind of like when you tell somebody to kill themselves. You don't really want them to kill themselves. What you're really saying is, fuck you. Except for when we're talking to Yasuo players.
Access to children without their parents' consent.
Wittgenstein.
What were you specifically referring to?
Wittgenstein.
But what is the wall? Where does that idiom come from? Where does it come from? What's the origin of it?
I said it on my show. That's the origin of the idiom.
So nobody's ever said you should be up against the wall before? You don't think that
I'm sure somebody has said you should be up against the wall before. I've seen twerking videos, for example.
When other people have said that in the past, do you think that maybe they've been talking about something specific?
I don't care what other people have said in the past.
So this is plausible deniability. You're basically trying to say, I didn't mean it that way because I've never heard somebody, I just came up with it on my stream out of nowhere.
No, I've heard plenty of people say it. I already said that. I've already said that I've heard plenty of people say get on the wall in different contexts.
Okay, and you just didn't know the origin of that. So you were just
I don't care what the origin of it is. Do you know the origin of it? You know the first time someone said get on the wall?
I know the origin of that as a phrase, yes. It was,
what is the origin of it?
Specifically,
who's the first that phrase?
It's specifically talking about the execution of people in concentration camps.
But you don't know
that phrase. It is there was a very well-known wall. Yeah.
Wait, is that actually true? You're going to the wall was about concentration camps? Was that the first time it was? I assumed it was like a Gulag reference or whatever. The earliest uses of the phrase "go to the wall" are in the 16th and 17th century to mean to succumb or give way to struggle. Since the earliest use of the phrase drew an analogy to a struggle, I think the most likely a classic street fight or a weaker party might find one. That's to go to the wall. This isn't really the same thing. Huh. Weird. Okay.
That's the first time someone said "get up on the wall" is execution of people in concentration
When talking
camps.
about in this particular context of saying
What
that you
particular
want the
context?
person removed, when you're saying that you want the person removed from society or from access to kids, as you put it.
Yeah, I don't want people who harm children to have access to children.
How does Keffels harm children?
Oh God.
Ask Keffels.
No. I'm asking you. That's the conversation we're having. You said that Keffels harms children. I'm asking you.
No,
how does Keffels
I
harm
said
children?
if Keffels was
No,
doing
you
what
said she
Keffels
does.
said.
You said she did.
Okay, I feel like Nick is being a little Weasley here. But okay.
I said if Keffels was doing what she did, Keffels said that she was providing HRT to minors without their parents' consent.
Did she
Keffels
say that?
said that. Yes, 100%.
HRT. You sure she said HRT? Because
Oh my
very
God, they're
clear-
both like in
very
ultra
clear.
fucking autistic
puberty
land.
blockers are not HRT. You understand the difference, right?
Do you want me to look
this
up
is where
the
I
quote?
specialize. This is where I specialize, right? So
Yeah,
you
but I'm
specialize
not
in-
arguing genetics.
But that she was talking, no, biology, but she was talking
You said you
about
were
a charity that she
genetics,
supports.
but-
That's the tweet you're talking about, yes? Well,
I
genetics
mean, there
is
were a couple
biology,
different
right?
ones.
No?
Well, I don't know. You're making the
specialization
disambiguation
in biology.
between genetics and biology. I'm not arguing
Well,
genetics.
What
or
are we even
biology.
Genetics is
talking
just my
about right now?
specialty. It's like saying that, a psychiatrist isn't a doctor.
Just because just because genetics is your specialty doesn't mean you have any fucking idea whatsoever about fucking pharmacology. Why the fuck would you say that? That's like somebody saying like, oh man, like I cut myself, and it's like, oh, you cut yourself? Well, I'm a scientist. I study physics. Like, let me help you out there. The fuck? Why the fuck would you having any background in genetics and you anything to do with medicine or like theoretically? It's not even theoretically. It's a totally different field. It doesn't necessarily confer knowledge from one place to the other.
They are still a doctor. They specialized in psychiatry, that kind of
I'm not making the disambiguation you were. So, like, I don't care.
Okay. All right. So the difference is that HRT is not the same thing as a puberty blocker. They're not the same thing, right?
I don't want kids to have puberty blockers without their parents' consent either.
Why not?
Oh God.
Because
how
I
did they
don't
get
want
here?
children making permanent life-changing medical decisions without their parents' consent.
Are puberty blockers
I was
permanent
gonna
or
say
life-changing
it's not
medical
permanent.
decisions?
Yes,
There's no evidence of that.
there's plenty of it.
In fact, puberty blockers have been used for nearly 200 years. They're a medication
Great.
that's been developed, and they've been used in
And
kids
prescribed by
undergoing
doctors,
early,
right?
and they've been used in kids who have
And
been
with their
undergoing early
parents'
puberty.
consent.
They've been prescribed in kids, can I finish? Who have been undergoing early puberty for hundreds of years, yes? So they have been determined by
Nick's gonna
much
lose
testing
it. Oh,
and
no.
also years of use that they are
Okay.
safe and reversible. There are no studies that show that they are not safe and reversible. They do
Yeah, I
have
disagree.
temporary side effects while they are being used. For example, they do reduce bone density while they're being used by about 4% in cases, right? Like,
How
that
many
is a
puberty
fact.
blockers have you taken as a child?
Do I have to take puberty blockers to be able to read the scientific literature?
Did I say you had to take puberty blockers to be able to read the
Bro,
scientific
these
literature?
guys.
Well, you're asking if I've taken them, so I have to
Yeah.
have my
No,
own
I'm not.
experience with them in order
You
to say
keep
that they're safe
adding
and
this.
reversible.
You have this habit.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like a Keffels infused thing, but there's this habit of adding like a second part to a thing.
Okay,
that's
I
said.
have never taken any puberty blockers.
Okay, next question. Would you give your child puberty blockers?
If they wanted them, yes.
Really? Just, I don't know. Dad, I want puberty blockers. You're going to give them to your kid?
Dad, I believe I might be trans. I don't want to go through a puberty that I might not want permanently, and therefore I would like to have puberty blockers until I can make that decision. Yeah, have puberty blockers. Go see a
No
doctor.
doctor.
get puberty
No
blockers.
doctor. You're like, here you go. Have all the puberty blockers you want.
I mean, if it was legal, yeah. I mean, I come from
Oh, wait,
a
so
family
it's
of
not
doctors, so I
legal to give kids puberty blockers without a doctor or a parent?
it's not legal for me to prescribe anything without a doctor.
Oh, well, gee, weird. I wonder why I would hold the position that this is not an okay thing for someone
So
to be doing
you
without
think that
parental
legal,
consent.
You think legal and okay are the same thing? You think legal and good
What
the
are we
same thing?
talking about
No,
right
absolutely
now?
not.
Morality
I'm a
from the
lawyer.
law. Okay, all right. I don't believe that children are the property of parents, and I don't believe parents should be able to withhold any medical treatment from children based on their beliefs. Just like I do not believe a parent.
I think a genetics specialist has a better grasp of pharmacology than a physicist. I actually fully 100% and totally reject that. I think I've talked to enough educated people now to know that, like, especially the more specialized your field gets, I don't think that necessarily confers any understanding whatsoever of medication from one field to another, especially genetics. I think that medicine in particular, medicine seems like a pretty specialized field, such that, like, I might even say that I don't think I would even trust like a broader biologist to have an opinion on medication. I think that these two things are quite different. But a geneticist, especially not. No, I absolutely not.
Jehovah's Witness parent should be able to prevent their child from having a blood transfusion, even if the child wants it to save their life. I don't think that that's okay. Unfortunately, it is the law that they can do that, but I don't think it's okay. And if I was a doctor, I would risk my medical...
It's only doctors and pharmacists? I guess. I'm just saying that, like, this sets off my bullshit alarm, and I'm 33 now. I've done this long enough, and you can take it or leave it. If you don't want to trust me, that's fine. But if I was in a debate and somebody says, oh, hold on, we're going to talk medicine. This is my area of specialty. I'm a geneticist. I would instantaneously assume that either one, you're lying about your education. Two, you're very poorly educated. Or three, you're hoping that I don't know how uneducated you are. Because that statement is absurd. That's an absurd statement. 100%. I would instantly, my bullshit alarm is going off like a million. Bro, I've literally had people in here. I think we had a physician in here. He was either a physician or he was a guy doing his residency who was saying, I don't want to make too strong a statement about mRNA vaccines because that wasn't my area of specialty. The guy was a fucking doctor. He was a fucking doctor, okay? And he was saying that he wanted to be really careful when he was talking about like things related to immunology and vaccines. So for this guy to be like, oh, I'm a geneticist, I know everything about medicine, bullshit. Fuck you. Absolutely not. Don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't even know what he means when he says a geneticist. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't even know what it means to be a geneticist. I don't even know if that's like a thing that you can get like a master's in, or if you have to be more specialized. I don't even know. But yeah, fuck this guy. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it, but
medical degree.
Also, here's another thing. This is another bullshit alarm that I've got going off. And again, like I said, I've done this for a long time. I can immediately tell. There are people that when I talk to them, they'll say something along the lines of like, oh, I have a specialty in this area. When you do X, Y, and Z, it can cause, recombinant actions, blah, 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 blah. And they start talking, I'm like, oh shit, hold on. You got to slow the fuck down because you're obviously really far ahead of me in this. I need you to like catch me up. That happens sometimes, okay? But when somebody just hangs it out there, oh, I'm a specialist in this. And then they start talking like a retarded Redditor, bullshit. Duncan has not said a single thing in this conversation that I wouldn't expect a 15-year-old to be able to grasp. Okay, so if you're going to hang out your education there, usually somebody will do that when they talk to me, and it either goes one of two ways. Either they hang it out there and they say something, and then they start talking and like, oof, you're super specialized in this area. Like, slow down. I need you to catch me up. Like when I talk like Rem about philosophy, or when Pisco or one of my lawyer friends comes in and starts talking about law, like, oh, substantive due process. Like, okay, hold on. I don't even know what that means. You got to catch me up, right? Yeah, well, then they can catch me up. But when somebody just hangs it together, they're like, oh, well, I have a specialty in genetics and puberty blockers. In one study, only 4% bone density. You're not saying anything that comes from your specialty. Like, if you would have never told me that you had any kind of specialized education in this area, I would have never guessed it. If Pisco or Esports Batman or Appleiz were to come into chat and start talking about law, after some point I'd be like, are you like a fucking lawyer? Or are you a law student? Because like, obviously you're educated in this area. Duncan has never said a single thing. I'm like, wow, this guy sounds like he's pretty educated. Like he must know. He doesn't sound like it at all. He sounds like a fucking Alabrel spinoff. Like, yeah, I don't know, just... Like I don't like it when people I don't like it when people like bring off or when people bring out like a law degree, or I'm sorry, not law degree, when people bring out any degree, but then nothing you're saying makes me feel like you're educated. Like it doesn't sound like you're you're yeah, I haven't gotten that. But maybe, to be fair, maybe Duncan will say something and I'll be like, oh shit, I don't even know what he means when he says that. Maybe he'll say something and then later on I'll feel like he's way more educated than I thought. But when he says he's a geneticist, this is what it sounds like to me. This is my guess. I could be totally wrong, but it sounds like he has like a fucking like, can you get a BA in biology? And he took like an organic chem class when he was a sophomore like 20 years ago. That's what he sounds like to me. And that's giving him too much credit. But that's what it feels like to me when he says, I'm a geneticist. He took like one class on genetics his junior year, and that's it. But maybe he's got like a master's or a PhD, and I might be totally wrong, and he's just really bad at incorporating his educational background into the current conversation. That's possible, but I don't know. But who knows? We'll see.
Give a child.
For reference, I'm a fucking music school dropout, so what the fuck do I know? Oh, hold on. He posted his degree online. Like, if I'm arguing with somebody, it's so weird. This is another thing I don't understand too. If someone wants to argue with me about, like, StarCraft or maybe even League or, like, music, like, I love those arguments. And I'm never going to be like, well, I went to music school, bro. Trust me. No, we can get into it, dude. I'll talk about music all fucking day. We can get really, really into the weeds on that shit because that's what I studied. Or, like, for StarCraft, like, we can get really hardcore in it. I'm never just going to say, well, I have a music degree. Trust me. Bro, this is the one chance where I can show off my educational background. You better believe we're going to go really into the weeds on shit. I don't actually know what any of these means. Is this every class he took, or is this just available in his program, or...
Maybe he stayed at the Holiday Inn last night.
Yeah, true. The psychology of addiction. That's every module he's done and passed. Okay. What degree do you think this is? So then, is there like a genetics? Would this have been like a master's degree, or would it have been a... This is a transcript, not a degree? Well, I'm assuming if it's his transcript, he must have his degree. I would hope so. Damn. Okay, well, let's hope that he says something to make him sound like an educated person, because so far he just sounds like a Redditor. Like, he hasn't said anything. That's insane. Is that a 3-year bachelor's degree? Oh, okay. So he's got his B whatever, or I don't know if you have BS or BAN.
Blood transfusion if they needed it, just like I think it is okay if a child is being prevented from having puberty blockers by their parent to provide that child with means to get it. And I think that it should be the law that doctors can prescribe it and parents can't stop it.
He said hormones, not medicine, and endocrinology is pretty important to genetics, but it's fair enough to be suspicious. So endocrinology might be a part of genetics, but he's not talking about hormones. He's talking about medicine. When you're talking about puberty blockers or you're talking about HRT, you're not talking about just hormones. You're talking about medicine, right? If somebody breaks a bone and you come in and you're like, I'm a boneologist, I know all about bones, I can give you a splint, that's not true. Just because you know about the bones doesn't mean you might know about the therapy or the treatment to fix the bone. Medicine, in my understanding, feel free to shoot me an email if I'm wrong. These are some of the topics that I've gone over a lot, though. But medicine is very uniquely its own thing. It's a whole branching, sprawling thing of stats and treatments, and it's a very, 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 very complicated field. Medicine is very complicated. Just because you know bio, or even genetics, or even organic chem, or whatever the fuck, or microbiology, or whatever, doesn't mean you know anything about medicine. Medicine is very, very, very special in what it does. You could know all sorts of shit. And maybe by virtue of being like, maybe by virtue of knowing about endocrinology, maybe, if you are curious, then you can study and you can engage with literature in a better way relating to medicine. That would be true. So assuming Duncan's educational background is right, he might be able to read a study and understand where, oh, of course this would do that, or this would do that, for sure. But just by virtue of knowing a little bit about endocrinology, or just by virtue of being a geneticist and taking a class on it, doesn't mean you know anything about the effects of the drugs, any of the studies or whatever, or anything like that, right? Like, if anything, I would say him having that background should give him a better understanding of like the underlying mechanisms of a particular drug or being able to explain it, but he's not going to know the outcomes. Oh, I'm an endocrinologist, so I know that if you give puberty blockers to a 12-year-old, they've got a 45% chance of developing. You don't know that. It doesn't give you that knowledge.
Not that it's behind the parents' back. I don't think parents should have the right to stop their children from seeing a doctor and getting puberty blockers. I do not think parents should have that control.
You don't think that a parent has any say in a child saying, you know what, Dad, I was at school today, and I watched a video, and I think I'm a chick, like a son. It says, I think I'm a chick, because I watched a video at school. And the parent's like, well, fuck me. I guess you are. Let me take you to the doctor immediately and give you puberty blockers. That's what should happen.
Well, the doctor, they'd have a psychiatric assessment, which is
they'd have
standard.
a psychiatric assessment.
Yeah,
why?
because...
Like, is that important in the process of determining whether puberty blockers should be administered?
I think it's prudent. I think that most of the time when kids...
Is it hard to say that it's wrong to give children puberty blockers without their parents? Is this so fucking difficult?
The parents' consent. Well, no, I think the parents' consent is completely unimportant. I think that a medical assessment. I think a medical assessment is a good thing. Yes, I will agree with you on that. But I think the parents. What the fuck do the parents know?
I think that you probably don't know what's best for your child if you would just, when your child comes home and says, Dad, I'm a woman or a man or whatever, and I need to get
give it,
puberty
Chad. Let me
blockers.
spot you. It's for safety.
No thanks, soy boy. I don't need a spotter. I either lift or I die. The fear of death will motivate me. What's my personal best on bench? None. Because I am personally the best.
True.
Because I saw this thing or I read this thing and I'm pretty sure I'm the opposite gender, and you're like, well, shit, let's take you to a doctor immediately. Like, I think that maybe there should be a little pushback. Do you have kids?
This is a really shitty argument from Nick, but it is absolutely true. And it is something that I've thought about a lot when I have these decisions. That, like, should kids be able to get, like, puberty blockers or to do something else without parental consent? That's a really easy thing to say yes to, because it feels like kids should have the ability to do it. But I've thought about this a lot and I think I've even brought this up in past conversations. How would I feel if my child was going to some weird Discord on the internet and getting drugs for, like, medical shit? I would not like that as a parent. That might actually be one of the worst things in the world as a parent, short of my child getting abused or, like, raped or something. That would be a horrible fucking feeling. That's a really hard thing to overcome as a parent, I think. And I'm empathetic towards parents that are like, I don't want my kid getting drugs online without me knowing about it. But it's difficult because, like, well, what if you have a bigoted parent? I don't want my kid being gay without me knowing about it. I don't want my kid being a lesbian or whatever, you know? So, yeah, it's...
I don't.
That's a
disclose
rough
that
one.
To the internet. As I've always said, I believe having your kids online, any of that is completely wrong, and it's always been my position. You can ask my chat, my online career.
No,
if I ever had a
believe you.
kid, my chat would never know.
Yep, that's
I'm
a good
afraid.
position. I strongly support you.
People are saying the position is kids should get HRT from a certified doctor without the parents' agreement. No, that is not the position online today. The position online today that this guy would probably defend from people like Keffels is kids should be able to just go online and order drugs without parental or doctor supervision. That's what the websites supported today say.
No, but that's always been my...
Okay, so
What's up,
good
Jadam?
on you. I can tell you don't have kids. So here's the deal. You don't know as a parent what your kid will surprise you with from day to day. And you never can predict how you will react in a situation, especially one that is absolutely outside of your realm of understanding. And with the number, like the statistical reality of the number of trans people, for example, like this experience is so far outside of the overwhelming majority of parents' lived experiences that you can't figure out how you'll react. And I think that's a critical fucking element that gets left out.
Despite moving away for her safety reason, Keffels has been doxxed again with an attempted swatting in Northern Ireland. Bro, what are you doing? Fucking stop broadcasting your fucking location. What the fuck is she doing?
Out of the criticism of these parents who are put in a suddenly impossible position of my child coming to me one day and saying, I'm not the right gender. And then you having to go through the list of fucking weirdos that they have talked to in their life. And this does not mean Keffels, although if that's a possibility, please get your child out of every Discord server that Keffels is in.
Do you think
for the
kids
love of
should
Christ.
be able to get HRT, etc., from doctors without the parents' consent?
From doctors without the parents' consent, I lean towards yes, but that's a really, really, really difficult issue. That's a really hard one. It's a really hard one.
But that being said, I'm talking about literally anybody, their coach, their teacher, some random visiting art director. But that being said, not all parents make great decisions. Some parents beat their kids. Some parents kill their kids. Obviously, some parents are bad, but they are in the extreme minority. The overwhelming majority of parents are fine, and they do know their children. And to say that a parent doesn't know their child enough, that when a kid comes home and says, I'm trans, and they go, whoa, let's just give this a week and see if maybe this is a 12-year-old weird fad, or maybe
give it a week.
Give it a
That's
week.
fine.
Give it
a week. That's
year?
fine. Well, it depends. Are they going to start going
Well,
through
wait a
puberty?
minute.
Because that's irreversible, is it not?
Oh my god! What fucking kill me? Are they gonna go through puberty in a week, Mr. Geneticist? Bro, you said 13. Puberty starts a little bit earlier than that for most of us. He said a year? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I thought he said give it a week.
Yeah, give it a week.
Give it a
That's
week.
fine.
Give it
Yeah.
their child enough that when a kid comes home and says, I'm trans, and they go, whoa, let's just give this a week and see if maybe this is a 12-year-old weird fad, or maybe
give it a week.
Give it a
That's
week.
fine.
Give it,
Yeah,
how
give it
about
a week. That's
year?
fine. Well,
Oh, I hear now. Okay. My bad. Okay. Okay. We've come back from the edge. Nick says, give it a year. I hear it in the crosstalk. Okay. Ah, Jesus. Okay. Come back from the edge of the cliff, guys.
does a parent know best in a medical situation for their child?
I don't know.
That's
maybe.
the question. I don't think so. I think if you got every situation where the parents and the doctors disagree in history, right? 99.9999% of the time, the doctors were right and the parents were wrong.
I 100% disagree with that number that you made up.
Well, obviously it's made up. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you
Jesus
think
Christ,
the parents
Brittany, what
know
are you
better
doing?
than
Is
doctors
she having a
what is
breakdown
right
again?
for a medical treatment for a child?
Maybe they don't think that the child needs a medical treatment in the context of being trans, because they go, like, hear me out. Maybe they say, look, when I was a kid, I used to play with Barbies, or
Which
in the
Britney?
co- in the-
Britney Spears, sorry.
the case of a woman, I used to wear short hair. I used to like to climb and run and get dirty and muddy. I didn't like dresses. And the parent goes, I remember that I was like this in very, very similar ways for a very, very long time. And social mores have maybe, and we're talking about going from like the 60s or 70s to today. So I really don't think so. But social mores have dictated that now the tomboy is a boy instead of just a tomboy, or the slightly effeminate boy is a female rather than just being slightly effeminate. Maybe they like playing with dolls. Maybe they like the color pink. That doesn't necessarily mean. Now, I know that what you have already said is you believe that's why a psychiatric evaluation should come up to say,
You think
is
parents
this
should
like
be
a
legally
phase, or is
responsible
this
if they're-
generally like,
Their
is this
bigotry towards a trans child leads to the kid harming themselves? That's a really hard one. The areas are all too new right now to know for sure.
genuinely dysmorphia? The problem is gender dysmorphia is so fucking rare. Like it's catastrophically rare.
That's a fun one. Okay.
Okay,
Is
tell me
gender-
about how
is
gender dysmorphia is
gender
not rare.
dysmorphia. Okay, first of all, gender dysmorphia is a DSM-4 term. We're in
Brittany Venti.
DSM-5 now. It's
Okay,
outdated,
what's
right?
what's
Okay.
what's the new thing on gender dysmorphia? What is it called now?
It's not a psychiatric disorder anymore. It's been
Okay,
taken
so
out of
what
the
it-
DSM.
Wait, aren't we talking about gender dysphoria? Not gender dysmorphia. You have body dysmorphia and it's gender dysphoria. And I thought gender dysphoria was in the DSM-5.
7K watching and 900 likes. Shushing face.
Gender dysphoria is a clinically significant distress or impairment related to gender incongruence, which may include desire to change primary and/or secondary sex characteristics. Being a trans person is no longer in the DSM as a mental illness like it was in the DSM-4, but gender dysphoria is still in the DSM. But
What is it?
Just
Like,
like,
so wait.
female. Right?
What's
Okay.
what's the new thing on gender dysmorphia? What is it called now?
It's not a psychiatric disorder anymore. It's been
Okay,
taken
so
out
what
of
it,
the DSM.
what is it?
Just
like,
like,
so wait.
female hysteria has been taken out of the DSM.
Good.
Like,
I guess.
They don't exist.
But look,
right? Like,
bitches be crazy every. Wait, no, that's lunacy. Female lunacy.
yeah,
right? Like
female lunacy.
female
Di-
oh, they're
hysteria
over.
was orgasms. No,
Yeah,
it was orgasms.
well,
It was a woman who had an
Have
orgasm.
you ever
And that-
given a woman an orgasm? I don't know any man who has.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have.
No, I said I don't know any man who has. So you're the first I've ever met.
Yeah,
Did you care that
congratulations.
she had an orgasm?
absolutely.
That was nice and noble of you. Okay, no,
Well,
I
it's-
agree
it's
with
not
female
that.
hysteria.
Sex is better when they have an orgasm too. Like, it just is better.
No, I
Plus, you get
disagree
to
with
have
that.
more of
Sex
it.
is better when they're screaming and crying.
These jokes. Like,
Wait,
gonna
are you
get them out
starting?
of the system?
I'm going to do it. Fuck it. You know what? I have respect for it. Abba was right. Because I think normally if the jokes aren't landing, I'd probably go to move on. I'm not going to move on anymore. I'm just going to let it hang. I'm going to let it hang hard. I have respect for Nick on that one. Yeah, fuck it, dude.
These jokes.
That was like a 5-second
Screaming
hang,
and
dude.
crying.
These jokes. Like,
Wait,
gonna
are you
get them out of
starting?
the system?
They're jokes. Yes,
no,
that's
no,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
point. They're jokes. There's jokes in comedy are okay, even when they're highly offensive. They're fine.
Yeah, I just don't find it particularly funny. Shock humor.
You don't
doesn't do it
have
for me.
to.
Shock
You don't
humor
have
doesn't
to.
do it for me.
No one asked you to find it funny.
Yeah, okay. All right.
There's only one person who matters on if a joke is funny when I tell it.
That's me.
Fair enough. I mean, if that's it, like you're clearly very self-involved, seeing as you don't care about making the woman come. So like, it's
That's
fine.
right. Why the hell would I?
name
Oh
for
my
comedy.
god, women get so much they get so much free shit in our society. Men just throw money at them. They like took them out of the kitchen for some reason. They put shoes on these bitches, and like we're supposed to make them come still at the end of the day. Like all the stuff I have to do. I'm a walking ATM. I just throw money out left and right. Every single request that any woman ever makes, I have to fucking account. I have to hold doors. I have to drive them around because you can't trust them to drive.
Do you think that like just spouting misogynistic talking points is somehow comedy? Like I'm genuinely curious. I'm sorry for this aside. Like that's your humor.
That's my humor literally in this moment. Look at you and your reaction to it is
my reaction is just fundamental boredom. It's just boredom.
Yes, I know.
It's just like I've heard these arguments from Andrew Tate.
But it's not an argument, it's a joke.
Yeah, but
like do you
he framed it as a joke as well. He said he was just joking.
But here's the question, do you genuinely believe I believe everything I just said?
I don't know you. I don't know you beyond the interactions I've had with you.
No idea,
So,
do
like,
you?
I have no idea if you mean it, but I would.
Right. So let's get back to that initial question you asked me about the idiom. What did I mean when I said it? What did I mean when I said get on the fucking wall?
You were referencing, again, people being lined up against a wall and shot in a German.
No, you
concentration
said
camp.
that was the first usage, and I'll take your
Well,
word for it, even though
what the idiom
I
is.
strongly disagree that that's the first usage of the idiom, but that's what you said. But you just said you don't know me. You also thought that I hated trans people. Remember when you came on the stream? You thought that, but I told you, no, I trans people are great. And I believe that anybody over the age of 18, because we've decided that that's the legal age of contract for whatever reason, that they can transition, right? Like that was a surprise to you, genuinely, right?
Yeah, no, genuinely, that surprised me.
Do you know that I said that in the same fucking clip that Keffels retweeted, that someone posted?
You didn't quite say that. You didn't quite say that.
Anybody
you said giving hormones to children who aren't old enough to make the decision yet. That is not quite the same thing as saying I fully support.
And then I said right after that, and you can go to the fucking clip all day, buddy.
Well, you deleted the scream, so.
I said anybody over the age of 8, it's on Rumble and Odyssey. The only reason I had to delete it is because you people want people removed from the ability to speak over your fucking misunderstandings, which is embarrassing.
Not the ability to speak, just the ability to have a YouTube channel. There are different things.
Right, the ability to speak on YouTube over your misunderstanding, over your inability to listen to the next fucking line where I said anybody over the age of 18 can do whatever they want to their body. I don't care if they change genders. I don't care if they become trans-abled. I don't care if they become trans-race. I don't care at all what you do.
But then,
I just want Keffels to stay the fuck away from kids.
I don't think she's doing anything to kids other than she supports a charity.
Literally admitted it. Literally admitted it.
She supports a charity that helps kids get access to...
No. Keffels says, I have personally helped thousands of kids get from age 12 to 18 get puberty blockers or HRT without their parents'
but what's
consent.
she talking about when she says that?
I don't care what she's personally.
She's talking about the fact that she streams and she gives people advice and she's saying, hey, this is how you do it. This is what you do.
Personally helped, has a list, a running tally. You think, well, I streamed and someone might have learned is the same.
She's like, oh yeah, that's another one.
It's Keffels' words. Like, do you deny what Keffels said?
Can you show me her saying exactly that?
I can,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've helped thousands of kids, and I have helped 1,473 children as of today, blah, 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 blah. Or I've helped thousands of kids as a sort of general statement?
Wait, what is
you're saying she's keeping a tally, like an exact number, right? That's your
Duncan being a little dishonest here.
Keffels is the one who made the claim.
Well, you're claiming she said that when she said, I've helped thousands of kids. She didn't say, I have a running tally of exactly how many.
Here we go. Let's do it. Let me find the tweet. I'm finding it right now. Here. So Keffels, this is the first one. To all TERFs who might read this, I have assisted at least a dozen minors get on hormone replacement therapy, cope and seethe. This is not puberty blockers.
I took issue with that tweet with her. I've actually mentioned that to her. She
well, then what
was
the
doing
fuck
the same
is the
thing.
what's
She
the
was doing the
disagreement
same
then?
thing that you did, which is to say that hormone replacement therapy and puberty blockers are the same thing. Like, it was
Wait
just
a minute.
misunderstanding.
You're talking about all these trans people being the vaunted fucking advocates with all the knowledge of transness, and you're like, well, they don't do this, and well, no, they know the difference between gender and sex.
They don't claim to be female. I'm just saying that a lot of people on both sides make the mistake of referring to
both sides fucking bullshit. We're talking. I said listen to me. I said HRT.
Oh my God.
I said HRT, and you said, well, did Keffel say HRT or puberty blockers? And I said, I don't know. I don't remember. Here we are. HRT.
I said, did she get them HRT or puberty blockers?
Well, what did she get?
Charity. She got them puberty blockers.
How do you know? She says HRT.
No, because giving a 12-year-old HRT, hormone replacement therapy, giving a 12-year-old cross-sex hormones,
what's that?
Is actually dangerous, medically dangerous. Like, that's
just not a good idea.
Oh shit, dude! You got to be super careful. You got to be super careful, because I looked into that website that Chloe has, which I'm pretty sure is the one that Keffel supports, and I don't think they're just pushing puberty blockers on that website. Oh, he's about to walk into a fucking nuclear minefield. That website that Chloe has, the Bob posting one, has all sorts of hormones and stuff built on it. It's not just puberty blockers.
To give a 12-year-old HRT?
Because you have to block hormones before you start giving people cross-sex hormones.
So
otherwise, you're going to have an absolute hormonal.
So wait a minute. Your problem with my statement of taking Keffel's at their fucking word and saying, if you give HRT to children, you belong on the fucking wall. Your statement was fucking wrong, and my statement was legitimately correct, that I don't want people giving HRT to children, right?
Yes, but then
oh my fucking God, why are we even here anymore?
But then I asked you, but are hormone blockers, and you said they're the same thing. I said, what about hormone blockers? And you said the same thing again.
I said, I don't remember what Keffel said. But that's because I was drunk reading Keffel's Kiwi Farms thread and reading Keffel's fucking thread, reading Keffel's words.
But you've said multiple times you don't think kids should be on hormone blockers.
You don't get to weasel out of this like a fucking pussy.
I'm not weaseling out of anything.
Yes, you are. Listen to me. I said, I read Keffel's words on stream. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. Listen to me.
Just calm down, dude.
No, there's no take it back. Listen to me.
You are fucking gonna.
You're gonna try and do this all day. Look, I've read this about you. You go. You try and make arguments without backing it up. I'm backing it up right here.
No. You took that from one of your viewers.
No.
I thought you didn't like lolicons.
I don't like lolicons. I think lolicons belong on the wall. Everyone who reads lolly should be put on the wall too. Listen. I said, while reading Keffel's Kiwi Farms thread, and I quoted it directly, I said, if you are giving HRT to minors, life-changing treatments without parental consent, you belong on the fucking wall with all the pedophiles and groomers and everyone else. No. I'm saying this is what I said in the clip that you...
On the website, the thing that they're supporting is called Do-It-Yourself HRT. And when you look at the site that she supports, it's not puberty blockers. It's HRT. Hormone replacement therapy is what it's referred to for women. But...
You retweeted this clip. You said, by the way, you said I should be removed from YouTube for my opinion. I should be removed from everything. I said in that clip, I read Keffel's fucking words. And now you're telling me, well, Keffel's is too fucking retarded to know what she was talking about.
Make the same mistake?
She must have said something different. Did you assume it was cross-sex hormones? Different.
I asked you if you thought it was cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers.
I said, I said, if Keffels is granting access to life-changing drugs to
But she's not.
children without parental consent, then it's an
But she's
if-then
not.
statement. Then she doesn't belong on the wall, does she, motherfucker?
Dude, you are so mad,
It's
and
an
it is not
if
worth
then.
this.
Oh, I'm so mad. You want to remove my primary source of income. You want me dead in the streets because I have an
I want you
opinion
dead in the streets?
that
When did I say
disagrees
that?
with you.
When
What
did I
would
say I
you-
wanted you dead in
Where
the
do you
streets? I
want
thought
me
you
to
had a
make
law
money?
degree, bro.
Where am I allowed to
Aren't you
make
a
money?
lawyer? Are you a
Where am
lawyer?
I allowed to make money?
Are you not a lawyer?
Where am
Don't
I
you have a law
allowed
degree?
to make money? Can I be a lawyer with my opinion? Because your friend Keffels wants me disbarred.
Yep.
In fact,
and they try to do the same thing with Riley. He doesn't even know about Riley. Oof.
think you do too.
Oh, yeah.
You want me disbarred?
Then if he's saying yes, then why are you even asking me the lawyer? You want him disbarred anyway.
Why?
Well, you were
What
calling... You were,
opinion?
okay.
What thing have I done that is a disservice to my clients worthy of disbarment?
Well, I'm pretty sure that calling for violence is worthy. Of
I didn't
disbarment.
call for violence.
I think
You
posting...
think?
I-
You
I-
think?
yeah, I-
Where did
I'm gonna
I
give my
call for
opinion.
violence? Name the fucking words, motherfucker. You're such a fucking
belong
bitch.
on the
You're
wall.
sitting here. You're
Yeah.
like, he's calling for violence. Where did I call for
You're very
any
upset.
violence against anybody?
You're very upset.
You're very
and
upset
I
as a nice
understand.
cope and a dilation.
No,
I know
yeah,
for your new
definitely-
trans vagina.
definitely-
But talk to me
yeah.
about what I said where I called for a single act of violence against
Because
someone.
saying you belong on the wall was definitely, and we've spoken,
Where?
we've talked about
Who's
this.
going to do it? Who's
I
going
don't
to
know.
do the violence?
One of the transphobes who tried to get Keffels shot when they
What
had someone point a gun in her
transphobe
face.
tried to get Keffels shot when they had a gun in their face?
Did
Who
she not
tried
get
to get
swatted?
Keffels
Did she not get
shot?
swatted? Did she not
No,
get
I
swatted?
don't. I don't think so. Keffels police showed up with a search warrant, right, and exercised a search warrant. That's not a swatting.
And a rifle that she got pointed at.
They always have rifles, and that is true. Cops showing up with a warrant is not a SWAT. Keffels wasn't. Fuck, I hope I stressed enough when I said surgery. Keffels did not get swatted. I'm actually incorrect, but I'm saying that online. Like, Keffels made $100,000 off a SWAT. She didn't make $100,000 off a SWAT. She made $100,000 off a police visit. She was not swatted. That is not true. She absolutely was not swatted. They even say in the police report that they knocked on the door, her roommates opened up, they let him inside, they executed the warrant.
in her face, no?
That was
And the police
denied by
have admitted to it.
literally everybody involved,
Yep.
including
the-
the police.
Even-
the police chief said.
Fuck the police chief. Even Keffels herself said that she woke up and went outside and then they were there and they had rifles. She changed that story significantly. Keffels 100% lied and misrepresented that story in order to fundraise money for her Europe trip. That's 100% what happened. She absolutely was not swatted. That's some stolen valor shit.
Said we have video of the entire incident and a rifle was never pointed at Keffels and they were never misgendered. Did you not read that? Did you just ignore that? Is that fitting for your fucking ideology?
Could you show me the statement where the police say
I
that there
don't know
was
where
no
it is
rifle
right
and that-
now, but did you look at it? Did you
I'm
see
sure.
it?
I'm sure one of
Did
your
you see
6,000
it?
current viewers. No, I
No.
didn't see that.
Did you see
I saw the police
fucking
apologizing.
statement?
I saw the police apologizing, both
Oh,
for
really?
the
You
misgendering.
saw the police
Yeah.
chief apologizing for misgendering? Never
Yeah, and
fucking
then-
happened.
And then I saw Kiwi Farms trying to dox said police chief.
Wait, did he not read the
Good.
police report at
Dox
all?
everybody, especially.
Did he not read the police report? So we can go over the police report. But the police report said that the only time that Keffels was misgendered was when they were writing her name on evidence because she was already in the system. And there was an older, and because she was already into the system in her dead name, they'd written that name on her evidence. But in terms of how everybody dealt with her, they always used the correct pronouns. They always referred to her as the gender that she identifies as. Like, there's video footage of her in the jail cell where the same things happened. She was gendered correctly and everything like that. That's what the statement from the police chief says, who reviewed the video evidence, and nothing has come out contradictory to that. I don't even know if Keffels contradicts that at this point.
Government officials. Fuck them.
So, like, I just don't believe you because if I see
Don't
the police
believe what?
tweeting
Here, actually, does anybody have a link to the statement? We can just read it if you guys want real quick.
if I see a statement on Twitter of the police apologizing and not
Pull the
arguing,
statement up. You didn't share your
okay.
screen. Pull it up.
Uh-oh.
probably be on Keffel's Twitter.
Oh, on Keffel's Twitter. That'll be nice. Is
Oh,
it,
she retweeted it. Yeah, like from a person at like I don't from a spokesperson. She retweeted it. Like
Oh,
retweets
I
are a
talked to
fun
the
thing,
chief
right?
of London Police Services, and I'm no longer a suspect in the investigation. They are now acknowledging the situation as swatting. That's the statement. You said it was a retweet, right? Where's the retweet? Like, I hope you pull it up, please. Please prove me wrong. Because for now,
Well,
I'll just go ahead and pull this one up. Whoa. Now what?
No, I'm asking, could you pull up where they said that they
here.
never pointed a rifle, they have video of everything, and all that?
I'm looking for it.
You accused him of a crime then? I don't give a shit. Osvid, I don't give a shit if I've accused...
Oh! Hold on. Never mind. I'm going to take the L on this. They're now acknowledging the situation as swatting. If the police said it's swatting, I've been swatted 3 times because the FBI showed up at my house 3 times to talk to me. I have been swatted. I am a victim of swatting, okay? And so is Keffals. Please donate money to me because I am fucking traumatized. And I'm pretty sure they had guns as well. So, please. Please. That's 3 times. I should make 300K off of this, guys. God damn it.
Get a law of a crime and he's having a bitch fit over it. Doesn't bother me. I don't fucking care. Sue me.
See. Here we go. Let's see. Where's the fucking quote? The chief's statement still falls short because he did not apologize to members of the LGBTQ community. Oh, that's cute. What's the fucking statement? Let's find it. This is the news story. By the way, if you trust a fucking news story and what someone says, you're insane.
Oh, fuck off, Nick. Come on. We
Yeah,
have to have
that's why I'm
something.
hoping that you give...
Has weighed in again about the controversial arrest of a transgender activist saying she was a victim of swatting and vowing to find the person responsible for targeting her. Chief Steve Williams said a criminal investigation is underway into the origins of emails sent to city officials on August 5th, prompting, quote, a deliberate attempt by a third party to place suspicion on Clara Sorrenti. As this investigation will be complex and may potentially involve multiple jurisdictions, it will take some time. He confirmed the London Police Service received 2 calls on to 9/11 on August 5th. The first saying Sorrenti was threatening to attend City Hall to people. Quote, a short time later, we received a second 9/11 call questioning whether officers would arrive. Police chief wrote, quote, threats of this nature are taken serious by police, as I believe the public experts expects they would be. Days earlier, Sorrenti was contacted by Toronto police, who had also received calls of a similar nature. They determined the activist and social media influencer was being swatted by someone calling police with false information with the intention of instigating an arrest. That's days earlier. Sorrenti has said police came to her house a week ago, arrested her at gunpoint, and detained her for 11 hours. Chief acknowledged this caused Sorrenti distress to have heavily armed officers enter her house, but he added that officers did not force their way into her home, a tactic sometimes called a dynamic entry, and insists they knocked on the door.
He's reading the report, yep.
He said Sorrenti
Or he's reading the statement by the chief of police, I should say.
He was cooperative, but was arrested for uttering threats based on information police had at the time. Williams was also addressed the criticism that police used the name and gender assigned to Sorrenti at birth during her arrest, referred to as a dead name by trans people. Sorrenti has told CBC News that she has not used the name and gender for more than a decade. Quote, while I cannot confirm any conversations which might have transpired during Ms. Sorrenti's initial arrest, activity in our holding cells is monitored by audio and video equipment. At no time while she was in our holding cells did members of our police service address Ms. Sorrenti by her dead name and gender. Bags that held her belongings while she was in custody were labeled with her former name, which Williams said was in the system as a result of previous police reports. Williams said he's reached out to Sorrenti to discuss the incident, made her aware of how she can file a complaint if she wants to. But here's the important part. Where is
they
the
dead named her when she was arrested, as she said. You've got no evidence that they didn't do that. You said
you got no evidence that she did.
Police came out and said they got video of everything. Whoa,
No,
you said, whoa, if we're gonna say claims,
yes,
you said they
100%.
got video of
body
everything
damage.
during the arrest.
Yeah,
and that
100%.
They never pointed a gun at her, which the police officer did not say there. And
where did
you
he
said that the
acknowledge
official
pointing a
statement
gun
said
at
that
her?
They never dead named her at any point.
She said at gunpoint, he said heavily armed officers. If you can't read behind the fucking police lines.
Now it's about between the lines. But when
She
I
made
said they
the
dead named her,
claim.
but they dead named her on her belongings. Did they
Dead
not
named
write
her.
it
Who
down as
fucking
well?
cares? Is she
But
dead?
You're the one crying, saying that it never happened and she made it up. But
It
now you're
didn't
admitting that it
happen.
did
She
happen.
made it up.
But
Yep.
Produce the
Did though.
fucking evidence, right?
yeah, the
you know how
bags
this
with
works.
the name written on them.
She
Yeah,
made
the bags with the name
claim.
written on them.
So
the
what?
bags with the name written on them.
Based on previous police reports to this, how do we know that she even knew about the bags of evidence? Because you typically don't know about the bags of your own evidence. That's a separate thing.
It seems interesting that she made the claim that they dead named her when they were arresting her, and then the bags
where's
of
the
evidence
fucking
came
evidence?
out with it on there.
She made the claim. Where's the evidence?
Well,
she also made the claim they were pointed at gunpoint. Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence they didn't? Like, you're saying that they
Where's the evidence they did it? Nick's mind explodes because he's been completely and utterly fucking owned by fucking Duncan.
I have to prove a negative? Did I make the claim?
Well,
you got to take the L here, Nick.
The chief of police said that they never pointed a gun at her. You said that he said that.
That's somewhere else. I'm going to find it. I'm going to try and find it.
Else. All right, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, it's notoriously hard when someone grifts so fucking hard that they get in every fucking publication because of their trans status, and they're verified whining on Twitter. People were impersonating me.
Don't you whine for a living? Is that not like your thing?
No, I'm literally no. I tell jokes for a living. I don't want to fucking whine ever.
Again, jokes are meant to be funny. Like, I'm sorry, I don't.
I personally don't view what you're an unfunny. I got it. But listen, I tell jokes to people who find them funny. I don't care if the rest of the world does or not.
Yeah.
But don't you whine for a living? Literally, no.
I don't know about that one.
Your entire fucking premise just shut down by me shitting on it.
I mean,
here, literally, no.
I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure you do.
I do how? Pretty sure I do how?
I mean, Sargon of Akkad is always whining about how the women are taking over.
Me.
No, but that's your people, right? Like
that's my people.
Oh,
when I
man.
paint
where you
Warhammer
just cry,
minis.
Well, you're not just crying to me about like,
Didn't Keppel say she woke up to a rifle pointed at her, then she woke up and went to the hallway front door? Yeah, so her initial story was, I woke up. We can probably find it. August could make video clips, but he shouldn't because I can't touch this issue because Keffels is literally an internet terrorist and I don't like to fuck with terrorists. But her initial story was, I woke up with a rifle pointed right at my face. And then it changed to like, I woke up with cops in my apartment with rifles. And then the news story was, cops knocked on the door, they were in the hallway, and then she came out after they had a discussion and they took her to jail and they had rifles. That's what it eventually evolved into or devolved into.
Oh, trans people get all this attention. Trans people get such special treatment.
They do.
Oh, boo-hoo me. I don't get the special treatment.
No, I didn't say boo-hoo me.
Raised 100K and
whoa,
I didn't.
Whoa.
Boo-hoo me.
I way out-grifted Keffels in 2022. I made way more than 100K. I made infinity money in 2022. Again, I'm trying to tell you, like, you don't realize who you're dealing with. But I didn't do it by whining. I don't care about people fucking doing shit or whatever.
You're whining now.
No, I'm not whining. I'm telling you the fucking facts that you don't know.
Massive bitch fit screaming at me. I just checking.
No, I didn't have a bitch fit screaming at you. I corrected you on the fucking record that you refused to acknowledge.
I don't know, man. You were bright red screaming. Like
bright
it was.
Red
it was fun.
That's a very offensive term to Native Americans. I'm not bright red. I'm sitting here telling you what the reality is.
You're Polish, right? You're like me. You're very white. And so when you get angry and blood flushes your face,
you're being a fucking baby about it. But you're making shit up. You have no idea. You said, "Don't you whine all the time?" Literally, no.
Were you not like literally pissing shit and coming and crying all at the same time 5 seconds ago, screaming at me?
I haven't pissed, shit, come, or cried. So no.
You were I think you were pretty upset, dude. Like you were screaming.
Pretty upset? What? Screaming? No.
Screaming into your microphone.
Think you understand what screaming is.
Bright red. Okay.
Bright red. Okay, whatever. If I'm bright red, I'm bright red. That's fine. But here's the reality. You said, don't you whine all the time? Literally, no.
Why? And you whine about Keffels? Did you not like crying on Twitter saying that she was lying about what you said? Is that
Keffels literally did lie about what I said.
I disagree.
Keffels said I wanted her. Keffels quoted me as saying, "Put them on the wall and in the head," which is not true.
That's
not.
Put them on the wall is literally
that's what you think. Your internalized decision.
You can be deliberately obtuse about it because you don't want to admit it because that would look bad for you. But you know what you mean when you say that, okay?
I've never, in fact, called for violence on my show.
I can tell that you're not too smart, but that
you can tell that I'm not too smart. Is that?
Yeah, I can.
That's hard for you, isn't it, to say, right? Like because it's very uncomfortable to have someone say, "I've literally never called for violence on my show, never once."
But
in fact, I want everyone to succeed, including Keffels.
Put them on the wall. What does that mean? What does it mean?
You tell me what it means
if it doesn't mean and shot.
I already told you what it means. You didn't want to listen. You decided
No,
what it meant and
you said it's
ascribed
an
it to
idiom
me.
that you came up with, and you just said it on your stream. That's
I
where it came
literally
from.
did. I talk about people going on the wall all the time. I think maps decorate walls beautifully.
Good one.
I think maps belong on the wall. What does that mean?
Do you believe that Keffals is a map?
I don't know if Keffals is a map or not. I didn't say
Okay.
Keffals was. Do you believe Keffals is a map? What about Keffals' Catboy Discord server where she
That's
admittedly...
a fun one, isn't it?
Whoa, wait. Let me say it, right? Because
Okay.
you're opposed to interruption. What about Keffals' Catboy Discord server where Keffals and the Catboy Discord server was sending callers to random miners that said property of Catboy
Could
Discord?
you show me the
Catboy
miner
Ranch?
who got that collar? Because they love to claim that they were miners on Kiwi Farms, but every single one of them has come out and said that
What
they
about
were not a
what
miner.
about the Twitter user that says that Keffals was exploiting miners on that they were a part of the ranch?
With no evidence of that.
What is
it
now
about?
we need evidence.
What is
of
it about? Innocent?
Where's
Was it not you that
Keffals'
was saying innocent
evidence?
until proven
Where's
guilty?
Keffals' evidence of the gun being pointed at her face?
Again, she said they were heavily armed. They said that. She said that the gun was pointed at her face.
No.
Fine.
She said the gun was pointed at their face. The police never admitted to pointing it at her face.
Okay, but they didn't deny it either. And I'm not really interested
Wait,
because
has
we've got a
Keffals
denial.
denied? Has Keffals
She's-
denied the owned by
Yes.
Catboy Ranch?
No, she's not denied those collars, but none of those
Oh,
collars went to
shocking.
miners. None of those
really?
collars went to miners.
How does
Every
Keffals
single
know
one of
that?
because they've all come out and said, literally, the collars went to 4 people, and they've all said, no,
Not
I
all
was
of
not a
them.
miner.
There's a miner who
Yes,
reached
all
out
of
to
them.
me.
Okay, show me. I'm
Show
really
you?
interested. Yeah,
Okay.
the miner who reached out to you, is it Kia? Or one
I
of
don't know.
the orcs?
Are you trying to shame the miner?
Well,
who
do they
reached
have any
out?
evidence? Do they have any evidence?
Oh,
like, any at
suddenly
all?
Now it's not
suddenly
believe
they
all
need
women?
Evidence. Keffals doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
evidence.
think
Didn't
when
they
you're
do a
making
believe
an
all women earlier
accusation
in
of
this?
criminal activity and flirting with minors and pedophilia. But
Uh-oh.
yeah, evidence is pretty important. When you say
Uh-oh.
police
Does
pointed a
Keffals
gun at
need
me
him-
when they came
does-
in heavily
does-
armed, I think that's not quite the same, is it now?
Oh,
One
it's
is accusing
absolutely
people of a
the
crime.
same.
I don't think so. One is accusing people of a crime, and the other is accusing.
Wait, you don't think the government coming into someone's house, pointing a gun at their face when it's unjustified is a crime?
I don't think it's that different from the government coming into your house heavily armed when it's unjustified. No, I
you
don't think
think
it's that
so?
different. No.
You don't think that pointing a
Brandishing a
gun
weapon
at
and
someone's
pointing it
head.
directly at somebody is that different. No, I don't think it's that different. End of the day.
Wait, what? Somebody walking into your house with a gun and somebody fucking pointing a gun at you? There's a world of difference there. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think
is. Here we go. Here's the person.
Also,
right here.
just an FYI, brandishing a weapon typically refers to showing a weapon in a threatening manner. Just showing somebody a weapon or having a weapon doesn't typically count as brandishing a weapon.
Keffals,
Is the Cowboy
off
Shit
pedophilia,
Ranch even
and then
real? I looked into it a little bit, and this was the farthest that I ever got. Supposedly, there was a server where people did not safe for work stuff. Keffal was also like a member on this server at one point in time. Supposedly, as part of this server, somebody was supposedly sending callers out or doing bad, not safe for work stuff with minors. But I have never seen any evidence to substantiate the claim that there were minors engaging in activity on that server. I think it's a claim that gets made over and over again, but I don't believe there was ever any evidence to show that. And even if there was, there's nothing that like links Keffals to negatively interacting with minors. Jesse actually DM'd me about that story. I don't think if I was to give strategic advice to Kiwi Farms, although they fuck themselves already, I would never bring up the Catboy Ranch shit. It's a really weak line of argumentation. There's not any good evidence there. You look like you're grasping at straws so hard.
I'm saying this person has accused Keffals with the exact same amount of evidence that Keffals accused the police of London.
The difference is the police of London did enter Keffals' house with weapons. So
The
I don't
difference
really
is
care.
that this person did become a victim of the pedo Catboy Ranch. So I don't
Well,
really care.
Can you prove that?
Can you prove that they entered Keffals' residence and pointed a gun at Keffals' face?
I can prove they entered her residence with a gun. Can you
with a
prove
search
anything?
warrant, right?
Can you
with a
prove
search
anything?
warrant? With a search warrant, yes or no?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Like,
Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. There's a distinct difference between showing
Is
up
there?
and kicking someone's door in and having a search warrant.
I mean, sure.
Was it ever known what she did with the 100K? She just kept it and she moved to Europe. That's it. I think she's not doing. I don't know if she said or she's just not doing the lawsuit anymore. But there was never going to be a lawsuit, so she just like basically pocketed 100K. A cool 100K. which I respect. It's a good hustle, good grind set.
Police would
There's
have a search
literally
warrant
a
if they were going to kick
massive
someone's door in.
difference. Do you not? I know you're not a lawyer. I'm not holding you to the standard. But do you not realize?
Wait! Holy shit! You're absolutely right! Oh my god! Wait, does anybody have a screenshot of my old tweet? I did call this. I said there wasn't going to be a lawsuit. I said it right after the GoFundMe started. Does anybody have a screenshot of that? True. Absolutely true. Somebody's got it somewhere. Oh my god, I'm an actual fucking prophet. Screenshot this tweet. Keffels will never take anything to trial. More info about her case here. Most of what she said was misrepresented or a lie. Absolutely true and based. That was like 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Based. Damn, really? The police chief says that she was pointed at in here, no? Wait, where? I don't believe this. Canadian news source, I don't believe it. When they say armed officers showed up at Sorrenti's home and arrested her at gunpoint, I don't know what arrested at gunpoint means. That, like, did they just have guns? Because the officers said that they knocked on the door and the people opened the door and they had a conversation, they presented things, and then she was arrested. I don't know what, when you say at gunpoint, the implication there is that the door was knocked down or there's like screaming and shit. So I don't know what, keep going. The police chief has a statement. Well, the police chief's statement said that they didn't bust down the door. It wasn't a quote unquote dynamic entry. That they knocked on the door, they were greeted, they had a conversation or whatever. Yeah, and I think the police chief even said that everybody was like really cooperative. I'm pretty sure when it says armed at gunpoint, I think, look at the author. Oh, wait. Do I know this fucking loser? Is this one of those guys that's dick riding hard on Twitter all the fucking time? I think I'm seeing this dude pop up a lot, right? You read a tweet from him today? It's the dude who did the interview? Okay, yeah. Fuck this guy. Fuck this fucking loser. Canadian shit is the guy who tweeted the docs in Ireland. Yeah, this guy's a fucking super huge loser. Okay. Oh, and I responded to him about taking swatting seriously. Yeah, true.
Did you not think of that fucking description?
No,
did you not
it's
think
not
there
that I
might
didn't
be a
think of it.
running tally of people who are not safe around children?
It's not that I didn't think of it. It's that I think you're full of shit. I just
you can think
you're
I'm full of
You're
shit all you
okay,
want,
and
but
that's fine.
you cannot find at all the clip where I said shoot someone in the head because you won't.
Because you're desperately trying to get away from it. You're the pussy here. You're talking about me being a pussy, but you won't even repeat what you meant.
You want to shoot people
you
in the head?
You know what you meant. You know what you meant.
You want to shoot people in the head.
We both know you know. We both know you know what that means when you say get on the wall. You belong on the wall with all the other people. You know what you were saying.
You're
right?
fabricating that out of your prejudices against me.
My prejudice is against you. What's my prejudice against you?
I don't know. You think I should be removed from Twitter for my hate speech, which wasn't my speech.
Yeah, I think it was, though. I think that you said
but
it
wasn't. It literally was not the quote. Do you think when someone puts something in quotes? No, fuck off. Do you think someone puts something in quotes that they mean exactly what's in the quotes?
You say you belong on the wall, followed by you should be crushed. But you can't. You don't have the ability to say it with your chest. You might hate me or think that I'm a pussy, or whatever. But I say what I think with my chest.
Absolutely a pussy. You cannot say it.
I say everything. I say everything I think with my chest. Right. You know what you said.
You say everything what you think with your vagina.
Boy who will not admit it because you're so scared of the consequences.
You want me to admit it.
If you're scared of the consequences, quit your grift. If you're scared of the consequences,
you want me to admit it because you want to cancel me, but that's not what I meant.
I don't even give a shit if you canceled or not at this point, dude.
Yes, you do. You retweeted it, you fucking.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Oh, fucking Nick! Holy shit! We just had a William Buckley moment, bro. Oh my god. Dude. Chill. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. He just had a heated gamer moment.